Welcome into the latest ESPN headline. I'm Prim Saripapat. The New York Knicks' efforts to use Iman Shumpert as trade bait continues. The most recent trade talks involve the Boston Celtics with the hopes of acquiring Rajon Rondo. But just how good is Shumpert as trade bait, and what are the chances of this deal going through? Ian Begley can answer that for us. He is our New York Knicks writer for ESPNNewYork.com. Ian, so what are you hearing about the trade talks with the Celtics?
Well, it's more the Knicks trying to push the trade talk than the Celtics being receptive. I don't think Boston is interested in what the Knicks have to offer in this package that we've reported, which includes Iman Shumpert and Amari Stoudemire. The Knicks would love to land Rajon Rondo, as would 29 other teams in the NBA, but so far Boston has not been receptive to the Knicks' offers.
Now, much of these trade talks have been centered around Iman Shumpert, who reportedly underwent a second surgery on his left knee this past summer. And then also consider that Knicks coach Mike Woodson said last month that Shumpert came into training camp out of shape. And this is a guy that they spent their first-round draft pick on in 2011. So when you look at this relationship, what went wrong?
It's very interesting. It seems like Mike is extremely hard on Iman, and he isn't as hard on some of the other players. I think, the Knicks as an organization, and not necessarily Mike Woodson personally, were turned off by a couple of things that happened over the summer with Iman. Knicks wanted Iman to play in the Summer League. He ended up playing just one game in the Summer League and then left to make a promotional appearance overseas. And he also waited a while to have this most recent surgery, and I think that angered some in the Knicks organization. They felt like he could have had it earlier in the summer. So the relationship, not just between Mike Woodson and Iman Shumpert, but between the Knicks and Iman Shumpert, seems to be a bit frayed.
If they do end up trading him, their biggest need is not at the backcourt, but in the front court with the absence of Tyson Chandler. So what moves do you think the Knicks will take in order to fill that hole?
Well, they would love to do an Iman Shumpert for Kenneth Faried swap with the Denver Nuggets. Denver hasn't shown much interest in doing that straight up to this point. That may change as the Nuggets approach the trading deadline if they deem that they're not going to contend this season. But the bottom line is the Knicks would prefer to get a big back for Iman Shumpert. They also could sign a free agent big man, but to do that they would have to let go of one of the players currently on the 15-man roster to add a new player. So I think the easiest transaction here would be a trade for Shumpert. Sacramento has been mentioned as a possible trade scenario as well. I think Jason's name has been thrown out there. So those are a couple of guys to keep an eye on as the Knicks continue to monitor things.
All right, we'll see what they do. Keep it logged on to ESPN.com as well as ESPNNewYork.com for all your Knicks needs. Ian Begley, thanks a lot for your time and insight today.
Anytime, Prim. Thank you.
I'm Prim Saripapat with your latest ESPN headline.